YouTube, some people say just the darndest things. Today I'm going to go over 5 of those annoyingly illogical statements that people make all the time. There are a lot of things that people say that are trying to be logical, but that are actually completely not. One of these is when you state a fact to somebody, they might respond with, "You just found that out now?" Problem with this is people have different reasons to give a statement. There are times when they just figured it out and they want to tell somebody, but oftentimes there's a completely different reason, especially simply for conversation's sake. And so when you respond to someone who's giving a fact for conversation's sake with, "Oh, you're just finding that out now," it's one, you're missing the point of the reason why they're saying it, and 2, you're also going to put them off. They're not going to want to have a conversation with you. It's just a bad idea. Number 2, sometimes people actually judge us for not having the experiences they've had. It goes something like this. My friend mentions a musician, and I say, "Who's that?" And they reply with, "How do you not know who this musician is?" A lot of people speak this way. They will become frustrated or shocked by the fact that you don't know something that they believe is common sense, when in reality, in order to know something, you have to find out about it. So I would reply to my friend and say, "Well, how do you know about the musician?" And they said, "Well, my mom told me about them." "Did your mom tell me about them?" "No." "Well, that's why I don't know." How can you expect somebody to know something when they haven't had the experiences that you've had? Here's the third. Bullies and abusers use this the most. Oftentimes, in these situations, the victim will do something. It may be right or it may be wrong, and then the abuser will respond with either violence or abusive behavior. And when the victim complains about the abusive behavior, the abuser will say, "If you didn't want me to do that to you, you shouldn't have done things this way." So let's say the abuser doesn't like the victim's face, and the abuser decides to beat him up because of it, and then the victim complains about being abused by the person. The abuser will say, "Well, if you didn't want to get punched, you shouldn't have been so ugly." Obviously, this is very illogical, but in many ways, a lot of us do this, and to us it seems logical at the time, but upon a further inspection, we realize how illogical it truly is. Annoying statement number 4. People like to say their opinion. They like to say whether they think something is right or wrong, but sometimes things cannot be decidedly right or wrong, good or bad. I enjoy eating certain things that others do not, and I do not enjoy eating certain things that others do. There's a huge debate over whether pineapples should be on pizza, and people can go and say it's good and it's bad, but really this is up to personal preference. It would be illogical to say that pineapples on pizza are good or pineapples on pizza are bad. It's illogical because everybody has a different experience with it. There is no objective experience. There is no rubric, no criterion that works for this. So, one of the most illogical things someone can do is to say that something is right or wrong when it is up to personal experience. Let's say music, for example. Someone can say that a certain song is bad. This isn't actually logical though, because everybody has a different experience with said music. So one can say, "I don't like this song," or "I like this song," but nobody can logically say that the song is not of quality, or nobody can logically say that a song is objectively not a good song. Here's the 5th illogical statement. We have people who we trust, and we have people who we don't trust. But even those that we trust are subject to human failure. And there are times when we face a decision, and someone we trust offers a solution, and a person that we trust gives their side. And then we ask that person whom we trust why, and we try to make sure we cover all our bases to make sure that that is the best possible option. A person might then respond by saying, "Well, don't you trust me? If you trust me, you should just accept it." But here's the thing. The people who we trust the most tend to still be subject to human failure. A lot of people trust themselves the most, and even then can recognize that themselves are subject to human failure and should be fact-checked, should be subject to questions to check for validity and soundness of the things which they're representing. Trust does not mean that we have to take everything they say as law, because it is illogical to say that those who are the most trustworthy to us will always be right. I trust myself the most, but when I have an idea, I still fact check it. I still try to see if I'm thinking clearly, because I know that even I myself am subject to human failure. These were just some quick, annoyingly illogical statements people make that I've noticed in my life. Maybe you've noticed these too, and I want us to become more aware of the things that we say and the logic behind them so that we can think freely. If you like this video and want to check out more, I have playlists and videos available for you to feed that brain of yours. If you haven't yet subscribed to never miss out. You're watching Freedom Thinks with Timothy Rogers. See you in the next video.